But here's what I want to talk about you, BB.
Yeah.
Can I call you BB?
Yeah. New York Times does.
That you and I are similar in many ways, right? Very different, but similar. That we both came from Mad. That was one of your first jobs.
This is my first job.
Mad TV. Me too. And but I feel like, and you'd been in movies. I mean, what movie? Her and I watched a movie that you were in that we were amazing in. Was that The Warrior?
Warrior.
Yeah, you were great in that.
Thank you.
Right? And I'd seen you in Old School. Remember you were in that movie? Yeah, a bunch of movies.
Hangovers.
Yeah, the Hangovers.
Ride along.
All right, right along.
Let's just keep going.
I understand that. I could just throw some stuff out too.
No, it's just weird.
I understand. I
Do
could
it,
throw
Bobby.
out
Do it.
shit.
But
Do it,
I
Bobby.
forget.
Do it.
I
I was
forget.
in-
I forget how talented I am. Well, but when you guys started talking, then I'm like,
Right,
oh yeah. But
right.
keep going.
But what really put you on a different level, I think, is your podcast, Fighter and the Kid. Right? I mean, that is making you good money.
Yeah.
And now you have an ABC
I Uber
show.
choppered here. Yeah, we I don't know. I mean, I shot certainly shot the spinoff. It's funny because it's been a good 3 years, right, where I've been doing this TV and I've been podcast has become this monster, and then stand up and all that, and I won #1 comic of all time. And
Oh wow.
yeah, and I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
but the International Council of Comedic Experts gave me the award.
Yeah,
and
And you know who's on that fucking council?
yeah,
Richard
like-
Pryor. He's dead.
Yeah,
Oh.
serious
Right,
people.
and they contacted him, his spirit.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Him, Carlin, dead, right?
Yeah,
Mort Saul.
a lot of the top,
Yeah,
a lot of
top,
the top
yeah.
people. Sid Caesar
See Caesar, yeah.
and
is
Red
on that.
Buttons, but
Yeah.
no, but like I kind of like, it's funny because I kind of gave up on acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hate acting so much because it hurt me so much, like it broke my heart so often
Yeah.
in this business.
Yeah.
So I gave up. I was like, I don't care. And then along comes this podcast, and it's kind of like all of a sudden, I guess when when things are successful, like you're doing lots of TV and you don't even realize it. When I gave up, a bunch of shit started happening, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right.
I didn't expect to make money on the podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this podcast to be like this. I wanted to just do a podcast because it was the only way I could sell tickets on the fucking road.
Like, because I did your podcast before you did Fighter. That's the one that you did by
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
And that was like Sanford and Sons.
Right, I had 6 listeners. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I got tired of going to the towns on Thursday and Friday and not being able to sell tickets.
Yeah.
I got tired of having clubs have to pay for the room. So I was only doing it so I could sell tickets. And
Right.
then, but I just wanted to do stand up to big crowds. That's all I wanted.
Right.
And
And that's you guys. That's what you. What
yeah,
it did.
yeah. But again, when it happens. It sneaks up on you. Where you're like, oh, I still don't believe it, and I still keep waiting for it to go away.
Yeah, for me, it's similar in many ways where I feel like this podcast has. I too did a pilot, and I think that it's all a part of the different choices that I've made. Like I know you don't remember this, but when Ken was getting a lot of like parts, and I wasn't working, you gave me a pep talk at the Comedy Store, and you said it's gonna work out. You're so funny, you know what I mean? Like you really like. Because I was on the verge of literally
I remember that.
just like I was gonna kill myself.
Well, I saw you. Yeah, I didn't like what I saw because you seemed very broken at that moment.
I was broken.
Like
dude.
you just didn't care, and I don't like that kind of apathy. That worries me. It does. And
yeah.
I was like, because I always said to you, I've seen you. If you can do what I've seen you do in just 20 minutes, you can do anything.
Right.
Anything.
God.
And I think that you should look at, and I think especially for you, I think you should look at comedy as a process of discovery. In other words, what the fuck is left inside of you? A lot of greatness. I think you could be one of the greatest comics, period. And I'm not talking about. I hate when people say this because I don't even like the idea of work hard. I don't like the idea of focus. I don't like those words, and I don't like the idea of. I don't even like saying to a grown man, you could be this. I think that's ridiculous. I do think that you could put yourself in a mindset that says, I'm going to wake up every morning and just sit and see what shows up.
Yeah.
What am I going to discover? So, Flannery O'Connor, the great writer who died of MS at 39 years old, which in the 30s, she's an amazing writer. And you people are not literary, say, well, who the fuck is that? But know that she's a great writer. And she said, I sit at my typewriter every morning, not to write, but in case something happens. And it's an act of faith. Okay? And I've told this story 1,000 times. I'll tell 1,001. When there's a guy from fucking a Russian guy who won the Fields Medal in mathematics. and that's like the Nobel Prize in mathematics. And he had figured out that there was a theorem, a mathematical theorem, that they didn't even know existed. They weren't sure if it was actually a legitimate question. But he answered the question and proved that it existed, and the answer was, I think, 357 pages long.
Yes.
Okay, you fucks. So a handful of mathematicians looked at it and went, holy shit, this has been floating around since the 1800s. And they said, this guy is one of the great mathematicians of all time. Let's give him the $1 million prize. He rejected it.
Why?
He disappeared. Why? Because he said, they found him in a cabin living with his aunt in Siberia a year later. And he said, why are you giving me the award? I am just a receiver. I happen to have a certain genetic makeup, maybe wiring in my brain, that was able to channel that theorem. The theorem has always existed in the great template in the sky.
Oh, my God.
So this is a very important way to look at life.
Shoot you right now.
It's a very good, important way to look at life because he just kept showing up. He kept showing up.
Yeah.
It's an act of faith. So why don't you do that with your stand-up, you son of a bitch?
Listen to me, fuck.
Hey, don't get physical.
I want to say something to you, right? All right.
When you get up like
because
that.
I don't like your fucking tone right now, friend.
Oh, God.
All right?
Okay.
And let me say this right now. I've never been fucking afraid of you, Chachi.
I'll paintbrush your face.
I understand that, and I know you think that you're stronger and you could destroy me.
Dude,
you might as well
my
do
hand.
it.
I can rip
know.
your
It hurts
fucking
now.
face
Stop.
Sorry.
All right. But let me say something. Don't ever talk to me like that. And number two, I get.
Don't
what
put
you're
your fingers. Don't point two fingers at me.
All right. How about one?
That's fine.
All right. I know exactly what you're fucking talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Because I am the laziest guy, right, ever to show up in this town, right?
That's okay.
And I am a fucking receiver also, friend.
That's okay.
And I've received in the ass.
Oh,
Whoa!
man, you missed my whole point, you son of a
I
bitch.
received dicks in my ass. I know exactly.
No,
what you're
that's
talking
not what
about.
I was talking
All
about.
right.
I was talking
I
about.
receive all the time.
Oh, it's the Bryan
And it
School of
hurts.
acting.
Hold on, there was something.
hurts.
I had another thought.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Shit, I had another thought about this. That was brilliant.
Hurts.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. No, I really got what you said. Thank you. That was good.
No, there was something
for the
else.
gift.
Fuck. Oh, forget it. No, I lost it.
Oh man.
All right, keep going. Just put yourself in a process of discovery. all
Yeah.
right? Okay.
How did you meet?